Hey, what's up guys? This is Maruda and welcome to a money making guide for Escape from Tarkov. If you're down in the dirts with nothing left to lose, then this video is for you. My stash value literally went from almost having 30,000 rubles every other day to a comfortable 10 million just within a few days using the routes that are going to be talked about in the video. This guide is specifically for customs and was shown to me by my good friend Drew C3 who streams on Twitch almost every day. I'm going to link him in the description if you guys to go check out, and I highly suggest giving him a follow. Drew and I like to call this the rat run, and I'll show you guys why in a minute. But without any further ado guys, let's get straight into it.
Hey man, roll the intro.
First of all, I'm going to be talking about spawns. Usually, the spawns that are circled in green will rush the arrows that I have drawn. On the western side of the map, the spawns will typically rush Big Red for some early raid PvP or to hit the manager's office inside. However, this will not always happen. Since it's later on in the wipe, Big Red isn't much of a hotspot anymore, so players spawning here might either choose to push onto the land bridges and get to the middle of the map, or they could stay for some PvP like I said. On the eastern side of the map, the spawns circled on green will most likely rush dorms, as this is where they think they'll get the most loot. The big green circle that I've drawn on the southeastern part of the map are all of the spawns that are unaccounted for so far, and typically these spawns will be your biggest threat if you do end up spawning on the eastern side of the map. Highlighted in blue are the best spawns for the route, and what I will be focusing on mainly in the video. They are numbered 1 through 4. The best thing about this run is that there are no requirements. However, it is extremely helpful to have the factory exit key to extract from ZB13, which is located under the fort in the middle of the map. To extract from here, you'll need to turn on the power, which is highlighted in blue. Another thing I would recommend bringing is a big backpack such as a pilgrim and a broken AVS rig, which you can usually find on the flea market from the fence from anywhere to 10,000 to 30,000 rubles. The point of the rig is not to protect you, although it might a little bit, but it's mainly for more carrying space throughout the run. There are a few places we're going to be focusing on for the run. Before I show you the routes, I'm going to talk a little bit about these hotspots for us. There are 9 hotspots for the route in total, consisting of med building, garage, fort, old gas, power, water, train station, van, sugar train, USEC stash, and bear. But depending on the situation, you might only need to hit up 4 or 5 in one run. The key of the rat runs are speed and positioning. You need to be fast looting, knowing where everything is, and moving to the next spot. Next, we're going to be getting into the nitty gritty of the runs, which are the routes. Alright, so we've spawned at spawn number 2 here, and it's very close to spawn number 1, so whenever you get spawn 2, you're going to spawn right there. Go through the little hole in the wall, which is right here. There's a derailed train car right there, just run past it. Spawn 1 is over to our right. It spawns up on the hill. Usually you're going to want to take the same route as spawn 2, just come on down to the land bridge right here, and run down it. I usually run into the red container for a little bit of extra cover because there's people behind us, of course, and they always want to push towards the middle of the map, so just be mindful of that. You're on a kind of time limit here. So just run along the wall. We're going to be coming into the new area here. Go through the hole in the wall. Sniper Scav sometimes spawns up there, so just be watchful for him. This is the new area, and med building is right there, which is going to be our first loot spot for spawns 1 and 2. The door always spawns open, so if the door is closed then there's somebody there, so be watchful for that. This is the first spot we're going to loot. There's a med box, and there's some med spawns around the body here, and also on the cart in front of the body. We're going to move into this room right here where there spawns a rare spawn in this cabinet and some food on the table behind us sometimes. There's a jacket there. Moving on to Dead Scav, there's going to be a rare spawn around him. You can search him if you'd like. Moving up the stairs, we're going to go into the intel room where I got really lucky this raid and found 3. There spawns some dollars and rubles on the table sometimes, so just be on the lookout for that. Intel spawns on the shelves here, and sometimes in the corners where the shelves meet the wall, so be sure to check those. So it spawns on all along these shelves here, so just look out for that, of course. It helps to have a docs case in this run, so do that because you can put intel in there, but you can't put it into a sick case. Moving on into the glass room, we're going to have med spawns on these racks and medical spawns on the tables here. Morphine pins are always worth taking. They're about 10,000 to therapist. More med spawns on the tables here, so just kind of graze along the tables and look for them. There's spawns some meds on this little table right here and more on this rack. There's one more place we're going to go to, which is the storage room, I like to call it, where there spawns some miscellaneous stuff on the crates here and more medical spawns on the racks. Moving on, we're going to go into garage, where there spawns some really good industrial spawns. There's going to be a rations crate right there. If you want to loot it, you can. There's condensed milk sometimes and sugar in that little toilet. Sugar toilet, you can call it whatever. Good industrial spawns here. Just follow the route I'm taking in the video. Come on down to find some more industrial spawns in the little blue cabinet. Move along the wall over here. There's a fuel spawn right there. Always pick up fuels, filters, tubes. They all sell for great money on the flea and to the dealers. More weapon parts on the table. So we're moving out of garage now to our third hotspot, which is fort. And in fort, you can find a bunch of good spawns. The first room we're going to be moving into is called living room. And there's a vodka spawn on the bed there, some more spawns right there. Sugar sometimes spawns on this crate, and always be sure to check between these 2 beds because there can be gold chain spawns, chainlet spawns, anything you can find like a rare spawn. Check that weapons crate and that little duffel bag there. There can sometimes be bitcoins in duffel bags. The next place we're going to move on to is armory. There's a fuel spawn right there as well. Industrial spawns on this little shelf right here. Some more spawns on the table. There's a pistol crate right above the door, so don't miss that. 2 jackets, 1 rations crate, 2 weapons crates, and 1 little med box. More spawns for meds are on the bed where the med box is, so be on the lookout for those. Next, we're going to be moving upstairs where there are a total of 3 rations crates and 2 fuel spawns. Here's the first fuel spawn. There's 1 rations crate right there. The next rations crate is right here. And the next one is right here. One thing I forgot to show during the recording was the second fuel spawn, which is actually below the blood splatter, in between the yellow generator and the pallet of what looks to be like, I don't know, concrete or something. It actually spawns in between that underneath the blood splatter, so be sure to check that. Moving on down, we're going to find some weapons part spawns on these little tables right here. Ammo spawns there. Moving on down, we're going to go check out ZB13, where if you have the factory exit key and you're here, you can unlock it if you want to. You can't extract from it though until you turn the power on, which is what we're going to go do next. Moving on, there's another rations crate right there. You can check it if you'd like. I usually don't because I try and get out of the area as fast as I can. Take this route because sometimes on the crate right here spawns sugar and fuel right below it. We're going to do the jump over here. This is a little hard jump. but there's a jump to the right of it, which is right over here, and it's easier, but I just take that one because it's faster. This is called power that we're moving into right now. There's a fuel spawn right there, some weapons parts spawn right here sometimes. In here there are weapons part spawns on this little crate, and there's a pistol crate right here which you can grab some cool attachments out of. Moving underground, we're going to find a dead body, and there's going to be some medical spawns here. Just be sure to check around the body because you'll find them on the chair as well, and there's a little med box, and there's pack of armor that sometimes spawns right there. We're going to go up and then turn on power, but before we leave power, we're going to check for a few more industrial spawns like fuel and everything like that. Here's the power switch, which is what you're going to want to use to flip on and turn on the power to power the ZB13 extraction. There are some industrial spawns all the way back here in this room, which you just want to comb the room for. They spawn on this little shelf right here. I haven't seen them spawn anywhere else. Moving on over here, there's some more industrial spawns. I found a bunch of fuels over here before, and filters, everything like that. Just be sure to comb the shelves. Next, we're going to move on to water, which I've heard there's an items case spawn, or a case spawn in there. I'm not sure what case it is, but I always check just to see if it's spawned. I'm just not sure what the rates are, but other than this little spot right here, there's not much worth checking for. There's some good spawns right here. Car battery UCI take. Check the jacket there if you want. The case spawns right here, so just be on the lookout for that. I'm not sure if it's true or not, but we're going to move out of water now and move on to train station. There's a little Jaeger stash right here. You can check it if you want, but I usually don't. Moving on into train station, we're just going to jump up over the boxes and comb all along the walls. There's an industrial spawn right there. They spawn all throughout right here. There's a tube spawn right here. Just be sure to check along the wall. There's one right here in this open spot, one right there, and check the van for med spawns. There's another one right there and below it. The last thing we're going to check in train station is in here. Sometimes it spawns filter, fuel, motor, whatever. Always want to take that. Now, this is where you want to decide if you want to loot the rest or not. I usually check and see if the van door is open, because if it's open, then pretty much everything has been looted. So I usually steer clear if it's open, but if it's not, I just go in there anyways. But I mean, it's not a very good indicator, but it's whatever. I would usually be getting out by now, but you can be a fiend if you want to. Here is USEC stash, where there is a GPU spawn and a few rare spawns. So up there is the rare spawns, and up there is GPU. So we're going to move into the GPU / green screen room. Under the table spawns a GPU. Check the computers. There's a vodka spawn in the corner right there. Some weapon attachment spawns in the back of this room. Just be sure to check it. There's two right there. Check the duffel bag there and the jacket there as well. And moving on to the back, there can be some good industrial spawns. Check the boxes, and there can sometimes be fuel in this back room here, so just check it. Another med bag as well. We're going to move on into the rare spawns, so come up in here. We're going to go check for sugar spawns and food spawns back here first. They spawn on these shelves. Moving on into mannequin room, there can be some food and sugar spawns right on this bed. There's a roller that actually spawns on the mannequin's wrist right there, and behind the mannequin are a few rare spawns as well, so be sure to check the 4 behind the mannequin. We're going to move on into this room where there's some industrial spawns right along here. Found a filter absorber in there one time. Some fuel spawns here as well on top of the table, and I believe below it. Some weapon attachments here, and also on this back table, so just be sure to check for that. There's nothing really in that back corner, so yeah. We're going to move on into this room where there's a rare spawn on the couch, gold neck chains and stuff like that. Some more spawns over here on top of the microwave sometimes, and the 2 jackets there, and we are pretty much done with USEC stash. If you have the key, you can open that door right there and that door right there, but it's not worth it. There's like 2 or 3 weapons boxes in total, and it's a 700k key. So it's not very good. We're going to move on into Bear Stash now, where there are a few good industrial spawns and 2 computers that you can check. I'm not sure what that flash was, but there's some good industrial spawns right beside of the rations crate here. You can see I found a filter, which go for about 90k on the market right now. One other thing I forgot to show off during the recording was some of the fuel spawns that are pretty much in each corner of the building. One spawns on top of the barrel that's to my right, and also under it whenever you come in. And there's another fuel spawn under the staircase I go on top of when I'm about to leave the building. We're going to go check on top of these boxes for some more spawns, and there's a grenade crate right there you can check if you want. Moving on up, we're going to go into this room, check the computers if you want, and then behind you is a rare spawn sometimes right there. I found some money. Check that little crate, another loose spawn right there, and a little crate right there. So now would be a great time to extract right here. This is an extraction, I believe ZB 11 or 12. I will put a caption. So I would extract right now, but I haven't checked Sugar Train in the little tutorial yet, so, or Van. What I'm coming up on here is Sugar Train to our left, but we're gonna go check Van, where there are 2 computers we can loot, and there are flash drive spawns that spawn sticking out of the computers. So you can loot these 2 right here. The flash drive spawns are on the little USB slots. This flash drive sell for about 40k. We're gonna move on into Sugar Train here, and there's gonna be condensed milk, sugar, any other kind of food spawns there in a duffel bag. At this point, I would take the time to extract, but yeah, I'm moving along for the tutorial's purpose, and just gonna go over the jump over here, and we're gonna go on into Old Gas Station. Jump on down into here. There's some spawns in the van and right below the back doors. Be sure to look out for that. Moving along, we're gonna go into the back of Old Gas. You can go in there. There's some good spawns there. What I call this right here is Giving Tree. There can spawn any item in the game, but we got a mag this time, so always thank the tree if it gives you something good. There's a medical bag spawn right there and a Jaeger stash back here. Now what we're going to do is move along back into CB13. And I usually take the back route out of here. I peek over into Stronghold from the trains here just to make sure no one's there, and I usually just book it down to the extraction. Don't really care what's up there because we've already looted it. The last thing I missed is that there is actually a fuel spawn on top of the pile of what looks to be sandbags, and that the SVD mag that I go up to loot actually has a weapons crate right beside of it. We're going to jump on down into here, and then we're going to go extract through ZB13. And this concludes spawn 1 and 2. Alright, so moving on to the spawns 3 and 4. It's basically the same route. You're going to want to come down here and check for Sniper Scav. Go through the barbed wire, and you're going to be heading into USEC. Okay, now the reason why I paused here is because coming into USEC from the spawn and the other spawn is going to be very dangerous. Currently, these 2 spawns are going to clash almost every single time you push up the USEC from either side, simply because of the good loot spawns inside of USEC. Now, pushing through the barbed wire is going to be very difficult because the person that spawned by Bear could have already pushed up and could be exactly where I'm aiming. If they're not, they're probably looting Bear or going around to meet you in front of USEC by the van or behind it at the road to my left. Either way, play very tactically in this area because 9 times out of 10, in this spawn or the other highlighted spawn from the beginning, you will get into an engagement in this area. So anyways, you already know the route from the earlier part of the video, so I'm going to speed this up and extract early here in this clip. However, staying in the raid and going where you go is always your call. So anyways guys, I really hope that this video and the routes shown helped you out, because without money to do anything, Tarkov becomes just a little harder than it already is, and some players can really feel defeated with nowhere else to go. Like I mentioned at the beginning, I had a lot of help from DrewC3 on Twitch, so go check him out and give him a follow at twitch.tv/DrewC3. And while you're there, check out my Twitch channel as well, where I do stream whenever I have the time. And if you're ever in need of any help in Tarkov with any quests or anything, you can always join up the Sherpa Hub and get a Sherpa or a helper to help you out. I will make sure to put a link in the description to the Sherpa Hub, as well as pop it up on screen right now. But anyways, thanks for stopping by guys, and I'll see you next time.